Hi everybody. Well, how do I put it? I'm not really used to just sitting and chatting away with a snake in my arms very often, but this is the next part of caring for carpet pythons. And today, this evening, really it's later in the day, I have Amaya. And if you don't know what Amaya is, she is an albino, well, a Darwin carpet python, but she's albino and she is a tricolour. And in saying a tricolour, because people have said what's the difference with a tricolour to a normal albino. And basically with a tricolour, rather than just having the yellow and the orange, and they're kind of ringed more all the way around with those yellow and oranges. Amaya is broken up with the white, the yellow and the oranges basically. So she has the three colours rather than just the two in her. And the reason why I have Amaya with me, and you know, I saw Jessie wanting out and so forth, but I thought I'd get Amaya out because she's not 2 years old and will not be 2 years old until after Christmas. So she's got a little way to go, but she's, for me, considered to be still a young snake, and a snake that is still, in some ways, really quite young enough. If somebody was wanting to not have her anymore, for somebody to consider actually getting for themselves. I think they're still young enough to bring into your life and to socialise with you at this age as well. But the subject today is going to be, and even though I did one about getting your hatchling or your baby and what that, as I see it, and what you'll need to do, today I want to talk more about making the decision on what carpet python you might be looking at, whether you want one that is going to be smaller or bigger. And you know, when you see them as babies, they're little, and unless you know, and I say to people, for you to do all that research yourself, of course ask the person that you're going to be getting this baby from, how big are mum and dad, and you know, if mum and dad aren't really considered to be fully grown yet, what size they will get as a fully grown carpet python basically. And she is a Morelia. I love the Morelias, of course, but I also like rough scales, which I'm looking forward to actually having in my life one day. So yeah, think about the species, the size, because it's about being able to accommodate them as well when they are adults. And some of our species gets rather big, such as Jack, my coastal. He is going to be a big boy when he's fully grown. Lily and Jessie are of, see, I don't consider Lily and Jessie to be big snakes, but for a lot of people who see them, they think that they are a big snake, but I don't think jungles are. You can go, you know, for your Aryan jayas and jags or jungle jags and those sorts of carpets that get some length on them but are not really girthy snakes, like our diamond pythons can get some length on them but aren't girthed as well. And of course, you know, we have our Bredli, and I'm probably speaking more on what I have in my home, who will be a big girl, not massively girthed, but extremely long in length. So it is really something to think about before you go and get your carpet python. Now I can say to you that they are semi-arboreal, so they're going to need to be able to get off the ground, at least to be able to get off the ground, as they, even as little ones. You know, Amaya spends a lot of her time on her hammocks and off the ground. Occasionally I see her down on the ground in her hides when she is in shed or just eating a meal. Actually, to be honest, she'll eat and go down there and rest. So obviously the heat down there is she's happy with when she's digesting. Of course, of an evening she will come up to the warmer part of the enclosure. So in some ways I do like them to have some height. I like them to be able to climb, more so than having the length to stretch out. And rule of thumb, so long as they can stretch out 2/3 of their body length, they should be fairly comfortable in their enclosure. So for a girl like Amaya, I would like, and not going to be massively long, you know, at least 1 meter high, 600 in depth, and 1200 in length, because not only does she have that length available to her, but she has height available to her. So you've thought about the species, you understand what their homes are going to look like for them once they are maturing and getting some size onto them. And I don't know if you're able to see much of her because she's kind of going all over the place. Are you not? Are you not? So you've thought about it, and then you've got to find somebody that is known to be a good breeder. And the importance of a good breeder is you want a nice, healthy baby. You really do. To me, that is most important. And a lot of people think, I want to take that snake away from that person because it's not being looked after properly. And I can understand that too. And I've been guilty myself of doing that. But overall, the health of them hasn't been too bad. Maybe a little bit small, but you can feed them and they can get their weight back onto them. So it's more about checking them for mites, checking them for an RI, and how you can actually do that is take a good look at their head. And most snakes will tolerate you having a good look at their head. Listen, put them up. You know, after a little while, they have an RI, you will start to hear it when they breathe, and you will hear a click. If you don't see bubbles coming out of their nose or their mouth, you can still hear when they breathe, there's a slight it's the only way I can explain it to you. Then I can tell you they've got an RI. the size of them. Are they of average size for the age that they are? What are they eating? How often are they eating? Have they missed and refused any foods? They are really important questions to ask. How long have you had mum and dad? Have you got mum and dad that I can see? I think that is really important to see, is mum and dad. See where mum and dad are housed, what their environment is like. If they are living in a really good environment, you can pretty much say they've laid beautiful eggs and delivered beautiful big babies, healthy babies as well. So ask about mum and dad. Have there been any problems with mum and dad's health? Because some things are genetic. A lot of breeders should be open and honest with you when you ask those sensible questions, because they're really, really important to you. You know, I mentioned that they should be feeding very well, and if you get your baby home and they decide not to eat, well, that will be another video for me to talk to you about. So the key things are, figure out what species of carpet python you're going to get. Do some research. Reach out to others who have carpet pythons and ask all the questions that you are not sure of, whether that's heating. Every one of our carpets, though similar with heating, can be a little bit different as well. So just from other people's personal experiences in raising carpet pythons, and that doesn't have to be me, but by all means you can. There are many people I know that have had carpet pythons for a long time. So reach out, get all those little ticks against all of the questions that you've had. Check out the breeder and ask him a million questions as well, because he's got it all there. You know, how many times have they shed as well? And as little ones, they shed quite often and quickly. It's almost like you just shed and you're going back into shed, because they grow as little ones a lot quicker, and then they stop, and then they have a growth spurt, and then they go through that process all over again. But again, that's another video. You know, I'm sort of jotting things down as I remember them, but that'll be it for part 2. What are you going to get? A normal, as we say, which really is a Jack, or just a normal Darwin? And these are considered, actually, well, not maybe the Tri-Color, but the albinos are considered to be quite normal. They're out in the wild. Oh well, way back when, her great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was caught in the wild as an albino. So she and many others come from that one snake, actually. So just some things to think about. And if you do have any questions, reach out. I'll be more than happy to help you with. And my next video will be about the best way to set them up, and the easiest way for you to set them up when you bring them home. So everybody, thank you so much for watching. You all take care of yourself, your family, your friends, and these precious things, and all your animals. Ciao.